This is a new and very short video series where I will be talking about the different generals' abilities and when and how to use them. The first one up is the Strategist General, and the Strategist General is going to give you the second wind and the battle rhythm abilities. Second wind is going to allow you to remove fatigue from a unit. Battle rhythm is going to increase the combat effectiveness of a unit. This stacks very well with an otherwise disastrous ability, which is the Headhunt. So the Strategist General is by far the most effective on a general that is going to be on the front line and that is going to be engaging enemy troops. So for example, for an Oathsworn general, for a Thracian noble general, but also potentially for a faction like Carthage, when he can use second wind on a unit like African elephants after they have used their trample ability, or even for a faction like Parthia, if you have a royal cataphract general and you're going to be using trample, then you can use second wind. Also on the noble horse archer general, he can then use precision shot and then use second wind afterwards to get out of that combat. But anyway, we'll have a look at what happens to the melee general when he uses headhunt, battle rhythm and second wind against an equal opponent. So the Oathsworn, the enemy Oathsworn, since they are controlled by the AI in this instance, I don't much like using them against the AI, but in this case I am going to. And for some reason it's night and raining, but that works. It just means that my units will fatigue faster, and we will have a small morale penalty to the units. But what I'll do is I'll just give an attack order here, fast forward, and when these two units engage, at some point the AI is going to be activating Headhunt instantly. So here you will see the difference between a unit that uses Headhunt and a Strategist General and a unit that just uses Headhunt. So, charging in. So, the charge on the charge, they're about equal in terms of kills. Put on normal speed. The enemy Oathsworn are going to use Headhunt, and I'm going to use Headhunt as well. Now the difference is that when the enemy Oathsworn, their Headhunt dies off after about 30 seconds, you can see the melee attack rising here for our two units. What's going to happen when Headhunt wears off for the enemy unit? Very equal in terms of kills now. But what's going to happen now is that the enemy unit is going to be very tired. My unit is going to be very tired. I'm going to be using second wind to stop that from happening. So now my Oathsworn are fresh, the enemy Oathsworn are very tired, and you'll see my Oathsworn start to win the engagement little by little. And this isn't a huge result, but in if this was, say, a general versus general or Oathsworn versus Oathsworn engagement, it can be huge to allow your Oathsworn to be able to fight in a fresh state. Now if I activate the battle rhythm, I'm going to increase the weapon damage, melee defense and melee attack of the unit. So it's going to be able to defeat the Oathsworn that don't have that ability even more decisively. When the negative effects start kicking in, I can just use my second wind, reduce the fatigue of my unit. These units are exhausted, my units are fresh, and now you'll see them be able to beat down the Oathsworn, the enemy Oathsworn, very quickly. They are exhausted, they're losing the combat, and I'm able to win here. This wasn't the perfect use of abilities by any means by me. 70 Oathsworn remaining, but it was just to illustrate how you can do it. Ideally, you want to charge in, you want to activate Headhunt and Battle Rhythm, and then you want to use second wind when both of the abilities have died out. That's going to allow you to defeat a lot of enemy troops. It's going to allow you to defeat similar elites while having men left of your own. Just keep in mind, you need to be on the lookout for another general that can potentially destroy this strategy for you, and I'll talk a bit more about that in the second video. But for the melee generals, the Oathsworn generals, the noble fighters, the Thracian nobles, cavalry units or special units with trample, then the general, the Strategist General with battle rhythm and and Second Wind, a superior choice. You'll be able to spam Headhunt several times per battle. You'll be able to pretty much ignore the negative effects of Battle Rhythm and of Headhunt, because you'll be able to remove the fatigue penalties. So for a short while, yes, Battle Rhythm will mean that you will have reduced melee attack, melee defense and speed, but when you are in combat and after you use Second Wind, that doesn't really matter. It's totally worth using these two abilities, the Headhunt and the Battle Rhythm, when you can just use Second Wind in order to reduce the stamina sapping effects of those afterwards, and it potentially allows you to use these things several times per battle, so super useful for the melee generals. Strength and honor.